Alright, let us continue. Again, now I have a little bit of time. These episodes will hopefully now be longer. Why not? Iris. Listen to me, Edgy. You've gotta do this. You've gotta save Iris. Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth. Anyway, I've made up my mind about it. I'm going to marry that girl, yes. Every girl you meet. I know. Hmm. Um, Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet, but I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She's got this, I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick would be surprised. He'd never imagine that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that. Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. That's why he went in her place. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If you really want to know the answer to that, we are going to have to drag him onto the witness stand. Yeah, night of the crime. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you and what were you doing last night? Aw, man. Don't you have anything else to talk about? Nope. With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Oh, okay. Chill out with those scary eyes. I got it. If you really wanna know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible. Oh, he's lying. Multiple. Yep, 3 locks, okay. Yeah, but let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Nope, I've heard everything. Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days, especially with him? Wait. Time. What exactly did you see last night? Well, it's kinda hard to say. Get locked up. It's one of those things. You know what I mean. It's like, it's not so much what I saw as it's the situation in general. You see what I'm getting at? Phew, that's a relief. Thanks, buddy. Ha 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 ha. Nope. I have the strangest urge to smash this guy against those big nasty locks. Great. Alright, well, we'll get it off of him. He went instead of her. That's what he did, I think. That's why he's got this place all decorated. But I guess he was just hanging out here. Take that. Locked up. The night of the crime. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Whoa, you're really upset, aren't you, Veggie? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. The locks are still there. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. 10 o'clock thundering. Lightning 10 to... Okay, yeah. Correct. I'd been sleeping. I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The world in front of me went white. Like I'd just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend Naomi. And And then it was on fire. The bridge was on fire, but you could not have seen the bridge from your room. Dusky bridge caught on fire. Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth. There are still 3 psycho locks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where, you say? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room, by the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you are as transparent as an empty jelly jar. The problem, I suspect, lies there. There? What do you mean, there? It's impossible for you to have seen lightning strike Dusky Bridge from your room. Damn straight, look at the map. This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees and it's impossible to see the bridge from here. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? Great. A broken one. Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be that easy after all. There's 2 more locks. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple. So then, where were you? You don't know that I wasn't in my room? So where was Larry and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, this answer is fairly obvious. Yep. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning strike from Dusky Bridge was here. The Heavenly Hall. The place you saw the lightning strike from was naturally Heavenly Hall. Yep. Why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold, there's no electricity, and it could fall apart at any minute. All things you were saying were an advantage before. Larry, how do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. Uh-oh. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. Broken. I have to admit I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. Great. That's nice. Now tell me. What were you doing at this cold little shack last night? That's what you might call a fair decor. What? I think you mean a fair decor. Could it be you were waiting for someone? Yep. Oh no! Great. You really are one scary guy, you know. I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come and meet you. This note to Iris. You had come here, right? You read this note. Oh, great. Well, Larry, was it this person? Oh, great. You know what? You should save your finger pointing for the courtroom. What? It was for Iris? No wonder people call you a workaholic. You work too hard. You should be like me. Well, I'd rather work too hard than hardly work like a loafaholic like you. In any case, I know you are waiting for someone. Yeah, but like I said, it's an affaire de guerre. No, Larry, you mean affaire de cour. At least I think you do. Same thing, oh no. This person, it was for Iris. It doesn't make any sense though. Because you said back, how could I let anything bad happen to her? Right? So I thought maybe he read the note and he gave himself. Instead of having Iris come here and talk to the freaking whoever was blackmailing her. Eh, possible. Look at the map. Broken. Heavenly Hall. You were waiting for obviously Iris. There's only one person you'd wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry, sorry. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Reggie. No doubt because of my chilly glare and your breaking psychologs. So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh? Do you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for her, or are you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here's the evidence that proves you were waiting for Iris. Did he write the letter? He wrote it. Here's your evidence. You called her to this spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. Great, what a horrible... Oh, hey, give that back. You're embarrassing me. What are you doing with that anyway? That's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. What do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should. Oh, okay. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says, salutation here. Well, that's what it said in the book. Letter writing for dummies. Oh, great. He put the salutation there. You're not supposed to actually write that. That's where you're supposed to write, Dear Iris. Wow, I'm so sorry. Well, there goes the last lock. So he wrote the blackmail letter. Insane. Unlock successful. There you go. Incredible. What was it in the letter? Salutation here. There is something I must talk to you about. I'll be waiting for you tonight at 10 at Heavenly Hall. Make sure you come unless you want your secret to be exposed. What secret was he talking about though? Night of the crime. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Sorry doesn't cut it, you scumbag. Threatening a young lady like that. Go. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what, you tried to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Unless you want your secret to be exposed? That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break. It's a love letter. Haven't you ever been in love? Yes. What did you just say? My love for her burns so hotly it could melt all the snow on this mountain. Then what is this secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? It's a fake letter. I'm talking about the secret love between her and me. Incredible. Obviously, she wouldn't want old lady Bikini to know about it, right? About our hot and sour, bittersweet love affair. Insane, he's crazy. Alright, then why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? Give me a break. It's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh. Then why were you so quick to apologize, pal? It's cause Edgy gave me that scary look of his. Great. What's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it? That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you were so defensive. Well, I don't know either. I guess the thing is, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Great, he's hiding horrible, useless stuff. Hey, come on. Don't let it get you down. Hmm. But Mr. Edgeworth, this guy is still hiding something. I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy just said a minute ago. If you really want to know, last night... Oh yeah, I saw something incredible. He's right. Larry. What? You're looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bowl. What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're going to tell me, Larry, one way or another. Something incredible. I already told you, didn't I? I saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. What doesn't? If that's all there is to your story, your heart wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, he doesn't know about the locks. I do believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What? Where? When? Why? How? Great. Hey, what do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. What? Ah. Oh, more locks. What the hell? Holy crap. 5 now. No, Edgeworth is freaking going crazy. But what's wrong, sir? Give me a second. What's wrong, sir? Does this mean I have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning? I've just about had it with this Harlequin. If I really want to drag the truth out of him, I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. Or we're not going to be breaking the locks. To be continued, okay, what the hell? I can break those locks probably, right? A bit of investigation. I guess Edgeworth is not gonna do it. Part 1 2 investigation, part 2 1 trial. Alright. February 9, 9:47 AM. District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Oh my! Mr. Loris feels that way about me? Yes, about you. You're pretty. Makes sense. Also, I mean, he feels that way about every girl he meets, really, but whatever. Anyway, I'll see you in a second. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue onward. Oh my, Mr. Loris. Yeah, Loris feels that way about me. He feels that way about every girl, don't worry. Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. Hmm. This is no time to be embarrassed. I am sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Yeah. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? Has to be. No, no. Okay. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand after Gumshoe. Sister Bikini. He claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Duxnum, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I have made the necessary arrangements. Yep. I see. Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Right? Mr. Edgeworth. I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. Alright, you do that. Smart. February 9, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. There's no one else. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hathakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. There is no one. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I am not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. Done. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Oh my. Her. Hello, One Karma. The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska Von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. As she is. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred Von Karma? Legends are a thing of the past. I am a Von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did? Then, you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I am almost certain that I have seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? Hmm. There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't. But I'm sure once before in this courtroom, Whip, I told you, there is no such weakling. What is that? A whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at...
Hold it!
Hold it. I have no objection to the whip. You don't. The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. So we learned about Godot. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. Whip. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Maybe. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. Oh, whatever. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Well, allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Whip, waha! The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case. Okay. With as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Duxenham. The sword was in the statue's hand, huh? Her body was found in the Hasakura temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo added to the court record. The courtyard where Elise Duxenham was murdered. Okay. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. 1 second. What else can I see here? I can see footsteps, but that's about it. I don't see the staff. Okay. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. No gumshoe? And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Yeah, I've got a golden thing. What the hell? She's too short. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. No. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Oh, that's better. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the head nun of Hasakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Wow! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Wahaha! Ha 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 ha, great. In any case... Witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. So she says. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh? About your movements? The night of the murder, witness testimony. Let's see. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up, violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura temple. Okay. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just when I was heading back. That's when I saw it. It is... We don't know what it is. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. I can press, right? The night of the murder, cross-examination. Or is Edgeworth different? He cannot press. Or he can press. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Hold it! Hold it! What is this, inner temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We will be the one asking you the questions, madam. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor, watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura temple where the murder took place? You'll tell us. Well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Just hold it. Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. Wahahaha, great. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. Okay. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura temple. But Iris says she never even left. You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 PM, so we were starting to enter the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Yeah. Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so that they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met with Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She has never once failed to follow my directions. But she wasn't there. There's no bath at the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. Hold it. So you returned to the Hasakura temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My. What a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Come on, lady. Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones. But what are you going on about? I was, pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. Great. The lowest of the low. Incredible. Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench? Good. Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand? So, it was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. Hold it. The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. So she wasn't actually in the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point out what it is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Yeah, we know what it is. I left Iris to help. Iris never even arrived there. How do you even know that Iris never arrived there? Iris' testimony. She rang the bell and was in a room. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hasakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. This discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. I mean, she could be lying. She's accused of murder. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No, she said that. Objection. A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. Objection again. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hasakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. Yeah, it's correct. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. All people lie. That is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Yeah, usually even, Phoenix gets whipped, but not now apparently. Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie, which means you must call your memory into question. Dear, 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 you're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? It was obviously Pearl having done some kind of, I don't even know, what is it called? A channeling, channeled some spirit that looks like her or something, I don't know. Well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Okay. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Okay, so we got new intel. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. Iris came to the inner temple. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner. Okay. That's wrong because she had given her thing over to him, the hood. There's no bath at the inner temple. You see, I need a long hot soak. Okay. Exactly the same. Hold it here. Are you sure that you're not making a mistake? You, young man, need to get your estimation of me up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake, thinking I made a mistake. An excellent finish there, witness. Still, I have to wonder. There's no need to wonder, we have her hood right here.
Objection!
He gave this away. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant, whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wahaha, wahaha, haha. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Objection? Hold it right there. Why do you have that? Uh-huh. No. That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? Oh, we got her already. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well, got her. She is standing on a freaking decoration. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Shush. Order in the court. Witness your response. Sister. This hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. Wah! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. No. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I am not sure if I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. Yep. Witness testimony after my bath. Okay. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple, so 1 hour. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was, oh, Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. Interesting. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me, seeing it all from this very chair. How did you end up in the courtyard then? Because when Phoenix Wright found you, you were in the courtyard, right? The lady? Yeah. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Great. After my bath, cross-examination. Let's do it. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. Okay, hold it. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusty Bridge from Hasakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway toward the main hall. Okay. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and... A noise. You say you heard a noise. Thump. Just like that, like someone falling. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Doubtful. Thump. Just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Wahaha, wahaha, haha. Ho 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 ho. Great. Whip wah. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... Iris was, oh Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. Hold it! Hold it. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good looking young man doesn't give you the right to. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Mr. Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Oh? Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood. Her hood. That's right, it's coming back to me. She wasn't wearing it. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. Well, that's bad. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she had given that hood away to someone, right? But then you saw her wearing it when you saw her later on. Come on, man. Urk! That's bad. Ha! You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? It is. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Heh, Miles Edgeworth. If you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my wit. Witness, add that statement to your testimony. No problem. Yeah, she will add it. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on, although you previously said that she did. Mr. Gillies was staying in the corner room which faces out onto the courtyard. Hold it. The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor? No. Hasagura Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building. I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I am the one who carried her thing to her room after all. Okay. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. And she has bruises to prove that. What makes you so sure of all this? It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump! Just like that. You are one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. Yep. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then. Yep. I am more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I am a woman of faith after all, the head honcho of Hasakura Temple. You said that already. There's only 2 of them working there. Great. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark? It doesn't feel like she is lying. This is very powerful testimony too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. Pretty bad. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney, even though he is not a defense attorney. Now that you mention it, Iris didn't have her hood on.
Hold it!
You are sure about that? Yes. After all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah! I don't mean because we are poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it. There is absolutely no need to explain yourself. Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else. Iris didn't have her hood on, I'm sure of it. Very well. Now please tell us about the victim, eh? Okay, but how does this help me? Received before the lights out bell the night of the crime, protects from evil spirits. Weather reports, snow 7 to approx 10:50, lightning 10 to 11. So 7 to 10:50 the snow would have stopped. Right by 11. 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. To 11:15 the fire was still going. Taken by the only pupil. There's a freaking castle in the back. It's kind of crazy. The magic bottle. Her room. I heard a noise. Iris was, oh Mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. She didn't have her hood on. She was staying in the corner room which faces out onto the courtyard. Must have got after she was pushed out of her window. But then how did she get down there? Also, the sword is in the freaking hand of the thing, right? Like that isn't that a problem?
Objection!
Look at it. That statement contradicts the data provided by this piece of evidence. It's wrong, but whatever. It does? How do you mean? Forgive me, Your Honor, but you just said it yourself that it does. Don't try to play mind games with me. Curses. It appears I have yet to adjust to being on this side of the courtroom. That wasn't it. I mean, I figured it wasn't. Iris didn't have her hood on.
Objection!
Because the road is right here. That isn't the point. Doesn't seem to have any spiritual power. My mentor, Manfred von Karma's daughter, born/raised in Germany, prosecutor at 13. She's the same age as Maya. It's interesting. I'm 26, 25. Her daughter is unknown age. He's 25, Butch is 25, Skinny's 48, 9 and 19, 32. Okay. Iris didn't have her hood on.
Hold it!
If I hold it here. Second time, but there's doubt. What does that mean? Call exactly. Iris didn't have her hood on. Hold it. You are sure about that? We have the same clothes, not because we are poor, whatever. Very well, tell us about the victim.
Hold it!
Staying in the corner room. Overlook the courtyard, second floor, but it is slanted. She was staying on the higher room, pushed out of the window. I heard a noise, thump just like that. Your one smart sister, stateside for bruises. Fall from 10 meters. Witness was mistaken. I should not be in a temple. Hold it 1 second. How far? 20 minutes, 15 minutes in a temple. Beyond that, never got there. I heard a noise, she's saying. You say you heard a noise. Thump just like that. Sound of victim falling. It is very quiet. Thumb. She wasn't wearing her hood. How does that? What does that have to do with anything? Asakura Temple and surrounding area. I mean, that doesn't tell me much. I mean, she's even wearing her hood in the photo too.
Objection!
I guess that's not important enough, though. I mean, the courtyard doesn't show me any hood or whatever. Body fell 10 feet. Oh! After death. Obviously, that's wrong.
Objection!
After death. I forgot about that. Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ah, that's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Ah, shorter. Oh, order. The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of her window down to the courtyard below. Objection. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Duxnim's room? No. She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain. Wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Wow. No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in your claim, I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure Your Honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood, very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body when removing the blade, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That is true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradiction. Well, was she trying to pull it out? Order. I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Oh, she's back down. Witness, please remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. No. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip? Great. Oh boy. Alright, alright. Great. Further details, witness testimony. When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Okay, well, I guess we'll see that in the next one, if it was or was not. Falling down, will the sword have come out? I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.